Attack the work. Imagine this. You go up to someone and you say, hey, and then they turn to you and they're like, what? What is it? Hey, hi, what do you want? And then afterwards, your brain will just go into crisis mode and think of the next thing to say. So people who talk about they're afraid of networking, they're afraid of meeting new people, they're afraid of introducing themselves. Essentially, what you can do is just go up. I mean, the activation energy required to do this is so immense, but you can go up to someone and say hi, and your brain will just, I don't know how it works, it'll find out what to say next. This sort of is emblematic of how powerful our evolution is, how powerful our biology is. We can attack things even if we don't feel ready for them, and it'll help us get a result, a transformative, powerful, immense result. Similarly, when it came to Ironman training, I would have so much fear around open water swimming, being in a lake for the first time. And I remember I was with Anuj last year. He was in a kayak and he just said, just let go of the kayak, Nikhil. Just let go. I was like, bro, I don't know how to tread. He said, just let go of the kayak. And what ended up happening is I just started moving my hands around. I started moving my feet around and I stayed afloat. Why? Because evolution has programmed me to not drown. It's the same effect that lets a cat land on its feet or let a bunch of baby geese or chickens know that they need to follow their mother. There's some sort of imprinting effect of just consciousness, of being alive, where you just know how to proceed. So in so many contexts, I call this concept embodied performance. If you don the appearance of everything, you put everything exactly the same, and you show up to the thing, you'll find you'll execute it properly. I could put you in so many different contexts. Right now, I could throw you on stage to give a speech like Gary Vaynerchuk might back in the day at some conference, and someone could assign you a topic, okay, hustle culture, getting after it, outreach, whatever it might be. I could put you on stage, and even with no stage experience, I remember I've been in similar scenarios to these where I've been like the MC of different like church events or temple events. I'd be the MC, so I would like randomly find myself cracking jokes. Even if deep down inside I didn't feel funny, in the moment I would just sort of take on the challenge. I would take on the endeavor, take on the effort. When I first started high ticket coaching, it was very scary to me. But what I found is that once I got on the call with that individual, I adopted the mindset of the coach. I adopted this philosophy that was within me. Instinct took over. I had to survive. I figured it out, and that first cohort was 3 years ago. It was really crazy. The things I said ended up being true. People got results. People got YouTube videos with 100,000 views. What is this? What is this thing that's within us where it causes so much overthinking, so much hesitation, so much doubt until the very moment in which you just have started doing the thing? Even this YouTube video right now, I came into it a little bit afraid. I was like, okay, how am I going to approach this topic? I know what I want to say this week. Attack the work. What does that mean to me? I'm recording it now and I'm finding my way through it. It's crazy. Do you know why? Because look at this moment right here, man. I feel the pressure of the camera on me. This thing is staring at me. This recorder is staring at me down. I feel a fear. And so I'm here in this moment. I'm living it, I'm embodying it, and I'm continuing to talk. You can apply this to so many different things, but you can especially apply this to your training. Don't try to train well. Don't try to execute anything to any level of perfection. Today's leg day for me. I always go into leg day with a bit of fear. So I don't worry about it. All I have to do is wear the right clothes and get the workout done. I mean, I literally just need to show up. Sometimes I tell myself, this isn't even me who's doing this. This is just a robot. A coaching client of mine back in the day, he called it productive dissociation. It's this concept of just showing up to the thing you need to do and letting this thing take over. Now, an important caveat to this is that you need to show up on time. So don't hesitate, don't delay. And I made a video about this a few weeks ago on how hesitation removes the favor of God. Genuinely, you need to attack the work. You need to do the thing. You need to approach and pursue and persist and go on. All blessings are upon you when you simply show up to the endeavor in front of you. What I even like to do now is I like to make a map for the entire week, how I want the week to look. And I do my best to tell myself, okay, this is just going to happen. There's so much fear around all of it. Ironman 73 Indian Wells, I hear the water is like 52 to 54 degrees. You end up swimming slower in the immense cold. In fact, Lionel Sanders, who's like the world champion when it comes to Ironman racing, especially the 73 events, he had a panic attack in the middle of Indian Wells. And that's a fear of mine because my last race at Madison, I had the same thing where I was crying in the water and I was holding onto kayaks to try to get through that event. And the swim was fearful for me. This time I'm trying to genuinely go under 6 hours. I've actually set a goal of trying to go under 6 hours 3 times now. And my results were DNF, 7:30. So I wasn't anywhere close to the goal I was going for, but that is going to be a specific challenge of Indian Wells. It's going to take a lot of faith and a lot of not hesitation and a lot of embodied performance to get through that event. It means I have to regularly show up to Embrace North, this ice bath sauna clinic near me, and get in the cold water. Do a lot more ice baths, not even for recovery, but for mindset and to be prepared for the cold water in Palm Springs when I take on that race. But it's all an embodied performance. It's showing up to the thing before I'm even ready. Show up to the thing before you're even ready. There's so much blessing in it. I can't even begin to tell you. A new coaching client of mine, I just began working with him. We're working on his business backend. So the very first thing that we're starting with is outreach, because the dude is ready to take on sponsors. Like, it's all there. I think we can get him to like 4 to 6K a month immediately. Pretty amazing. But you know, for anyone who's tried outreach, it's such a shot in the wind. It's such a scary thing. It's like, oh, I'm just sending these emails out into the dark. Is anyone going to see this? Do I even matter? Am I invisible? You feel that more strongly than ever when it comes to outreach because, I don't know, all of your fear about the universe actually being a nihilistic place and your efforts not counting for anything, it happens the most when you're cold calling and sending cold emails. That fear, this immense darkness, it just kicks in. But you know what? I once got an audition with Lucinda Sison, who's a major casting director out of London, purely because of outreach. I got Robert Stein, who's like a big Hollywood manager. Well, he hasn't worked with me, but he followed me back on Instagram. I mean, small wins. I've gotten job offers through it. I was able to connect, network, friendships. I got Matt Diavella to follow me back on Instagram as a result of the power of outreach. So outreach has a power as well, but you know, it's like showing up to the work of that. It's so scary every time. And you know, with a lot of things in life that make you great, like they're tied to your inherent greatness, the things that could really bring excitement, they're the things that make life worth living. It's kind of like scary to start those activities every single time. I genuinely feel like maybe it doesn't really ever get easier. I mean, I gotta be honest, man. Showing up to leg day more or less doesn't get that much easier. Showing up to a race that I'm scared for, especially Ironman, showing up to an Ironman race is terrifying, man, because you got to start that event getting in the water. You know, the water is the only place where you can really die. You can drown. It's not likely to happen, but it does trigger a survival instinct, having to wake up at 4 a.m. and show up to this thing. And now this water at Indian Wells is going to be so freaking cold. There's a fear attached to it. There's always a hesitation. Every swim session that I have to show up to, I'm scared. I'm scared all the time. I find myself thinking about the thing and how I'm going to approach the thing before I start it. If I really want to get results with a coaching client, I find myself prepping what I want to say to them before I even, take that meeting. And I think it's just not needed. You got to show up and attack. It can be so trivial. It can be so significant. Sometimes the work is literally clean your house. Do you know I feel hesitation sometimes in cleaning the house? But I've been cleaning the house more than ever. Do you know why? It actually makes me a better Ironman athlete. When the space is clean, even when my digital files are organized, when I clear SD cards, I bring the favor of God into my life. But there's a hesitation in doing that work. I don't know why. I don't know if anyone else feels this fear. I'm sure they do. With all of the most important work in life, there is a fear attached to it. You know, if you show up every day to your life's work or to just the agenda on your calendar and you're not ever afraid, if you're never afraid, you might not be on the knife's edge. You might not be attached to your potential. And that's okay for some people, but it ends up leading to a more boring life. Then you have to deal with a different kind of melancholy or different kind of suffering where you're just genuinely bored and you know that you're not doing anything to stress yourself in that productive way. There is fear involved, for sure. There's always fear involved when it comes to attack, but that's where all the blessings is. You got to attack the work. I set this goal last week of attacking the training, attacking the bike rides. I ended up doing around 130 miles, but I got to be honest, I wasn't quite perfect. I did decent. I did okay. I uploaded last week. I was consistent. I more or less hit the work that I meant to, but it wasn't quite fully there. It wasn't fully there. And that's my curiosity now. Can you attack the work? Can you show up to today's agenda? Ready or not, here I come. You go for it. You show up to the swim workout. You show up to the bike. If you have to study Salesforce that day or anything else for your career, man, there's fear. You don't know. Just study as best you can. If that's what that hour demands of you, you can hear it. You can hear it from God. You can hear it inside you. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I think I'm supposed to be recording a YouTube video. Boom, here we go. think I should be studying. Study. I think I should be making cold calls on the phone and trying to make connections. It doesn't get easier. You never feel totally confident in what you're doing. You know, when you're walking the path that you're meant to, you never feel like, okay, this is exactly it. You know, you start to recognize patterns, so you do things more effectively. Generally speaking, there's always new things you're meant to do. You got to listen to that voice within that tells you what the next step is. The entrepreneurial path, it asks you to listen. It also asks you to use logic, but it asks you to listen to what is within. So you got to listen to it the best you possibly can. You got to listen to what's happening, and you got to move from there. And above all else, attack the work. Show up to the next thing, even if you've done it 100 times, and you will see blessings from it. You know, it's only been around since September of this year. I don't know what happened to me. All of 2025, even though I've been working on river rats, even though I've taken on a couple of endurance events. I mean, so far I've done Oceanside and Madison this year, and 1/2 marathon in which I got 1:33. Pretty decent for me. This year across the board has not had a 100% attack until September. Bro, September, I got fucking locked. And you can feel it. You could hear it on my channel. Something changed within me. I was telling a coaching client this is a good time to be working with me because I will genuinely transfuse to you whatever's going on within me right now. And what's going on is pretty profound. It's pretty spiritual. It's pretty reflective. It's pretty deep. And it has a muscular intent behind it as well. But that's all I want to leave you with this week. It's not a multi-idea video. There's one note I want to say to you here. Look at your calendar, man. Look at the things that are important. This time around, don't plan too much in advance. You know, if you have a meeting at 6 p.m., if you have something on your calendar where you need to prepare for that meeting, that's fine. Then attack that work in that half hour. But if you got a meeting at 6 p.m., trust the version of you that shows up to that meeting on time or 3 minutes before. That person's going to be ready. Trust that whatever the next thing is, you got a piece of training, you got to do leg day, you got overhead press, you got to do a swim workout, you got to, for me, bike 30 miles, okay? Whatever it might be. Hey, some of you fuckers, you got to vlog because you should be making more content. Whatever it might be, you persist, you push through, you attack, right? Attack it every goddamn time. I'm telling you, there's something attached to this. There's something spiritual. It's profound. There's enormous blessing in it. I feel like I'm living proof of it right now. I have been attacking the work. I haven't been perfect, but I've been attacking the work very consistently for the last 6 weeks, and the tides are freaking shifting. I'm becoming independent. I'm becoming resolute. My charisma has been going up. I'm not saying this for me, dude. I'm saying this for you because I want all of us to do this, man. I want us to live this way. I don't want that hesitation to happen anymore. I want there to be a persistent, consistent attack. That's how River Rats is going to get done. That's how I'm going to show up to Indian Wells as best I possibly can this time. I don't know if I'll go sub 6, but I know that I'm going to try, you know, and I think this time around, the intent will be very, very pure. And that's a beautiful thing. We'll catch you next time.